Hi everyone, welcome back. As you can see, I've made some changes in the background setup. It is looking much more cleaner and better than the previous one. Um, and yeah, before jumping to the main topic, I want to quickly talk about something very important with you guys. That is what value you can get from these videos, from my videos. So there are 3 points. The first one is you're not just learning React concepts here. After understanding every concept, you are gonna see how it is being applied to a real world question or challenges that may be asked in any type of interview, like front end interview or React interview or web development interview. And I personally think that the practical implementation is much more important than the concept. And now, secondly, you can treat me as your study partner, instead of just watching me solving and typing the solution or as explaining the concept. You can pause the video, or you can solve along with me. You will learn much more that way. And finally, I'm not interested in directly giving you the answer. My goal is to explain the thought process while solving any type of questions. I believe in the thought process much more than the direct solution, because if you only know the solution of a particular question, then you only can solve that particular question, that specific question. But if you know the thought process behind the question, then if you know the concepts well and the thought process well, you can solve any type of question similar to this. So yeah, back to the main topic. In the previous video, as you know, we covered J6 basics and components and props. If you missed that one, you can go to the description section, and I have shared the link there. And otherwise, you can go to my channel, where you can find that video, all those videos. Uh, and yeah, in today's video, we will continue that journey. We will solve two more questions in the Chai React Labs platform. And yeah, that's it. Let's stop talking and start solving. Let's get into it.
All right, this is chapter 3, and you can see this is all about state and youth state. So, before going to the task, let's discuss what is state and youth state. Up until now, in the previous videos, you have seen that our components have been static. We just passed props in, and they just displayed the data as an output. But real apps needs to be dynamic and interactive. They need to remember things like in the websites. You may see there is a sidebar. So the state, I mean, the website needs to remember is a sidebar open or closed. And uh, if there is a form, then the website should know that what did the user input in that form. So uh, in this type of things are done by state and use state. So state is just a data. You can see in this, here it is written that state is data that changes over time. When state changes, React re-renders the component to reflect the new data. Yeah. So this is pretty straightforward. And when the state changes, state is just a data. When the data changes over time, React sent a message to the uh, website that it should be re-render. It should re-render the page. I mean that component, not the page. That component, that specific component. So if the state change, that component re-renders. Okay. Now comes to use state. The use state is actually to use state. React gives us many built-in functions. We call that hooks. So use state is also one of the most important hooks that developer use. uh, when you call a youth state, you pass it an initial value. Okay, you can see this structure. I mean, this is how it works. This is the syntax of the youth state and state. Let me zoom. Let's see. This is the constant, and this is an array. This is count, and this is set count. Count means the value, the current value is referred as count, and the set count. Set count means this is a setter function. This is a function that changes the current value. Okay, and now this is use state, and this zero here, this zero is the initial value, the default value of the count. Okay, initially the count value is zero, and if you want to make changes that count in the if you want to make changes in that count, then you can write your logic in the set count function. The use state returns an array current value and setter function. This use state returns this array. Okay, and calling this setter triggers a re-render. As I said, never modify state directly. Yeah, this is also one of the most important thing to remember in React. While writing JSX code, you should not modify the state directly. Like you should not write like this. You should not. You can see here, state is equals to state plus one. So you should not write like this. You have to this here state is the data. To change this data, you have to write a setter function. Okay, nice. Now let's move to the task. Let me remove these two lines. Okay. So here the task says build a counter component, initialize a count state to zero using use state. Okay. So the initial value of the count is zero. Display the count in an H2 with ID count. Okay. Add an increment button with ID increment that increases count by one. Add a decrement button with ID decrement that decreases the count by one. Add a reset button with ID reset that sets count. Sorry, that sets count back to zero. Okay, got it. So this is just a simple counter app. Okay, so in this code, let's focus to the code. Okay, this is the function. This is the code. I mean, this is the question. This is the code. Awesome. Here it is written that add your state here. Okay, so we have to write the state and use state here. Uh, yeah, first of all, we have to import the use state before using it. So import um, use state from React. We generally import use state like this. Okay. Now add use state here. Okay. So we will write state like array. Sorry, this state count and this is set count is equals to uh, use state and the initial value is zero. Got it. Now this we have already initialized the use state, and now let's move to the return section. Here h2. Okay, this is that h2 in the number 2. Here, okay, here count and display count. In this section we have to write the count. Okay, count. This count refers to this, and yeah. Now add your buttons. Okay, now let's add some buttons. There are three buttons. There are three buttons: increment, decrement, and reset. Let's write the first button, increment. Increment, and the ID must be increment. Okay. Now another button. Let me copy paste it. Three buttons. I increment, then decrement, then reset. This is reset. This is decrement. Awesome. Now we have three buttons. I can't see all this in the preview section. Okay, let's complete the code first. Okay, H2. Okay, we have H2, then buttons, three buttons. Now we have to write a logic that will increase, decrease, and reset the count. Okay, here we can write on click. This is a event handler, and inside that we can write the logic like this. Um, we will use the setter function set count, and we will increase the count by 1. Okay, you can see the complete code here. Hmm. Similarly, we have to write in the decrement button also. Here we have to just do minus, just decrementing, similarly with the reset. Here in the reset, we have to reset that count value to 0. Awesome. I think the code is complete. Yeah, we have display initial count as 0. Wait, there is some error showing. Button increment on click increment. Okay, is there a mistake? We have found this is correct. Great. Unterminated regular expression. Okay, wait. I think I have missed some brackets or like, yeah, it's showing I have some unterminated regular expression. Okay, okay, bracket. Oh, okay, I missed this bracket. Yeah, think sorry, no. I have missed another bracket here. Yeah, all errors gone. But I don't know why I can't see the preview section here. It is showing cannot use import statement outside a module. This is an import statement we have. Should I remove it? Let's see. No, it's not showing anything. Okay, let me check. No, no, no. It is showing there. Okay, let me double check the code. We have use state and initial count is 0. We have return and we wrapped up in a div. All brackets are okay. And we have an H2. We have H2. We have 3 buttons: increment, decrement, reset. Yeah, the code is looking perfect. I don't know why it is showing cannot use import statement outside of module. Okay, I think we should try this somewhere else. Um, there are many platforms like React compilers, online React compilers. Yeah, we can check the characters. Okay, let me zoom in. Okay, okay. So let me copy this section only. Everything will be same. Yep, use state is not defined. Okay, we have to take that use state also. That import statement is missing here, so can add it. Oh, it's showing the correct. The code is completely correct. You can see the output in this section, the preview. This is the count. The initial value is 0. If I increment it, it is incremented 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we decrement it, it is decrementing. You can see. If I click the reset button, it is resetting to 0. So this is completely correct. This code is completely correct. I don't know why this is showing this kind of errors. Okay, so I think the chapter 3 is complete. Let's move to chapter 4. All right, this is chapter 4, and it is all about event handling. If you know basic HTML, then handling events in React looks familiar, but there are some few differences you have to watch out. Yeah. So first of all, we write React events using camel case, like on click, on change, on submit. Okay. And secondly, you pass a function as the handler, not a string. Yeah. Instead of passing a string of code, like we do in HTML, we pass an actual JavaScript function as a reference in the handler. So there are three patterns to write an event handler. This is the first pattern, inline handlers. Here we use the arrow function like this and write inside the event. And the next one is named handlers. Here we create a separate function like handle click, and passing its name. And this one with event object. Okay, so when a user types, we grab this e.target.value to see exactly what they type. Now let's go to the task. Okay, build a simple item list, create an input with ID item input for typing items, track the input value in state, add a button with ID add button that adds the input text to a list. Okay. Mhm. After adding, clear the input, render the list as this with li elements. Okay. Each list should display the item text. Okay. Mhm. I got it. So our task is to build a simple dynamic item list. Looking at this boilerplate code, the platform has already given us two states. Okay, this input value and the items array. Okay, got it. This one and this one. This is the input value, which is a string, and this is an array. Okay, array of items. Okay, so let's build out the input and the button first. Um, okay, here is the place to add input buttons and list. We will write input, and inside that input we have to write ID, that is item input, item input, and then we have to write type text to give a value, that is input value. Okay, this input value is the state as we discussed in the previous question. This will change, and now it is time to write the event handler that is on change. Right, change, and inside that we have to see, this is an input form. Okay, so we have to use this type of thing, this event object. So we will write this same thing here, like e and set value. Sorry, you have to write set input value. Okay, set input value. Inside that we have to write that e dot target dot value. Awesome. This input is done. Now we have to create a button. You can do it as self closing type. You can remove this. And now here we have to create a button, make it self closing too. No, no, we can do. And name it what? Add add a button with idea. Okay, add button. You can write add button here or what? No, no, we have to write add items. Yeah. Now with ID add button. And I think it is written that add a button with ID add button that adds the input text to a list. So here also we have to write another event handler. Um, since this is a button, we have to write on click, and inside that we have to write the okay. Yeah, now we can use this type of handler. Yeah, we can use this type of handler. Let me name this function as handle add item, and we have to create this handle add item above this. Const handle add item. Wait, it's still add item. And here we can write set items, so which is the set of function as what we can write the items, okay, and set item. So sorry, input values, input value. So inside handle add item, we are updating our array using set items. Notice how I'm using the spread operator. Uh, this spread operator. This copies our existing items and uh, it will append the new input value to at the end. Okay, and at the end we have to do something like this also. I guess this. So we clear out the text box by setting set input value back to empty string. Okay. Now next. Now these two things are left. To do this, render the list as UL ID item list with li elements. Okay, I got it. So under this, we have to write a UL that is an unordered list, and we have to give the ID as item list. Item list, yeah, correct. Now inside that we need li elements, but we can't directly write li elements since this is dynamic. So we have to use map here. Yeah. Uh, there is a dot map method in JavaScript. We also gonna use the dot map here. So we have to write uh, item. We have items. Right? We have items. Yeah, items dot map this, uh, and inside that we have to write uh, item and index. Okay. Uh, then inside that we can make our li thing. Yeah, with the item. No, it is the item. Item. Yeah, and we just give a key index. Okay. I think it is correct. ULID. Yeah. So we have used the dot map method to loop through the items array, and for every single item, it dynamically splits out an li tag containing the item text. Okay. Yeah. I think All entire code is complete. Everything's look good. Okay, wait. There are errors. 90. Okay, there is a parenthesis missing here. No, this parenthesis. Okay, this is completed here. Yeah, I think it is correct. Yeah, I just gave an extra parenthesis, but it's still not showing the preview, so we have to use another React compiler, online React compiler. So let's copy this. Uh, let's remove the previous one first. So I don't think we have to use the useState here because it's already written. Yeah. See, you can see in the previous section that we have a input form and there is a add items button. Let me write something like let's write what pen. Yeah, see, it is completely working. And let's write what we learn. I'm writing anything. Yeah, it is working perfectly fine. Let's add two more items. Um, what water. It's working perfectly fine. So I think this is. So I think uh, two chapters are completed. Although this platform is not working efficiently, but we learned a lot about state and use state and event handling. I hope you like this video, and if you have any suggestions, you can comment in the comment section. Yeah, I'm still learning and improving. I will definitely consider your suggestions, and you will see the improvements in the next videos. Okay, so thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.